Welcome back, everybody. Some more EU4 with me, Daniel. Dan has fun playing as East Frisia, although we're kind of really now Northern Europe. Easier. That doesn't sound very catchy. Somebody come up with a better name of this place in the comments there. Hey, welcome back. Last episode we took really all of the Danish mainland. We couldn't get in here because, well, their navy's massive and ours is kiddie pool territory. This episode, we're going to get our army back, first of all, because they're camping out here in Danish Russia. Technically, they have a border. This eeny-meeny tiny border, so it's not a separate enclave, but I doubt they're going to have much of that land in the long term, to be completely transparent. We're not going to rip it from them, but I'm sure between the Livonian Order, Sweden, and any rebels that come up, they will be. Oh, Denmark's being attacked by No Guy now as well, who ate, I guess, a large portion of Perm. Oh, hi, Sabir. Sabir, known as the nation with the similar to looking like a pie symbol. I'm sure they're known for other things too, but in this game, that's what I know them for. A cardinal spreading institution would be great, but here's the problem, we don't have any. Even though we're Catholic. But it does mean Nassau will, so maybe just through the power of shared borders, we'll be able to get some benefit. Corruption is going up, because we're not paying to route it out. We're gaining a whole 0.01 every year, but I guess we should technically make that a negative. Our trader, I think that was the half price level 2 guy, has bit the dust. We'll get a Diplo rep person instead. Just notice our leader is 71. So we're going to have an election soon. Good to know. Oh, we have the formalized separation of powers option, because we do have a statesman and we have high stability. There is no reason to ever not take this. It's just more prestige every year, and you just get a base 3% higher chance of your parliamentary seats backing whatever request you make to have happen. Yeah, all positives, no negatives. You love to see it. And what we don't love to see is our diplomat not doing anything. So what would we want to do next? Who hates us the most, actually, is going to be where we're going to start there. So, we're not very well liked, it's fair to say. Whenever your enemy's bar is longer than your rival's bar, that's a pretty fair reflection. Lübeck hates us, and they're a semi-interesting target. Primarily because the province of Lübeck itself, this small one, really good for trading. It's also a 19 development province, which for early game is massive. So that they are certainly an option. They also don't have a very big army. Their issue is that you usually end up in a trade league, which they are here, so you end up having to battle a load of tiny nations that will just wear you down. So we might be waiting on that front. Other nations that hate us, Berg is probably a pretty easy target. The Teutonic Order, which is still here, which I guess I should have mentioned last episode when I did our review, is not normally the case. Normally Poland has ripped Danzig apart, out of it and ripped everything else to them. That has not happened, at least not yet. Other nations that hate us, the Livonian Order. So both orders hate us. I mean, it makes sense that the Livonian Order hates us. We have Riga, their historical ally we took the province for. They're kind of awkward. I don't really want to deal with them right now because of how long their nation is. So I'm going to end up out of place for a long period of time if we do have to attack them. This land is also not very helpful, and it's due to the culture group. So nothing against people from Estonia, Latvia, or Lithuania. But the culture group in this game kind of stinks. There's not very many provinces in their locations. None of these provinces are particularly high value. So you usually end up just having to convert them to whatever your culture group is, so Germanic in our case. It's not super high value, but that might mean we don't take them out. My only concern is if we don't, Poland and Lithuania will form the Commonwealth, and then they'll just eat the Livonian Order entirely, and then I've got problems because I'm on the border with them. We shall see. I'm not going to worry about it right now. That's a problem for future, Daniel. Sweden also hates us, which is a real shame. I would have thought our mutual hatred of Denmark would have made us friends. Alas, that is not the case. And Sweden has probably, it's in contention with places like France and Prussia for having just crazy good land forces. We're going to have to keep an eye out on that. I'm hoping they don't become allied to Poland. That would be horrible. We'll see. If they do that, it means we're going to be allied to France for most of the game. At least most of the early, maybe mid-game. So we still didn't work out what we're going to do with this diplomat, did we? We did a lot of talk and not a lot of action. We're just going to put it in Berg, because why punch at somebody your own size when you can punch a midget? Don't use that advice in real life, please. We're going to have to sit on our hands regardless for a little bit, because you may notice there's some yellow around us. That means they can join a coalition, assuming they're not in a peace treaty with us. So, like, Berg can't, because they are in a peace treaty, but, not Brandenburg, Brunswick could. Whether they will or not, I suspect the answer is no. Again, we didn't take any land in that war with Denmark from the Holy Roman Empire, so Nassau can't be like, hey, you better give this back. Because there's nobody to give it back to in the Empire. So we should be fine. Is our army back now? Yes, it is. Excellent. Hooray! Because our leader has a good trait, we can get 2 base tax in Westphalen. We're definitely going to do that. Combine this stack. I'm almost tempted to not drill because of how good this guy is, and I'm worried I'm going to kill him by drilling him, but we'll play the risk. Austria wants money, that's fine. I guess we should use some money. There's no point sitting on it right now, because we do have a lot of places we can build buildings. I'd love to get a manufactory, but right now that's not happening. We have an okay amount of manpower. That's not the priority. I think the priority is just to get some production buildings. And a couple, there we go, at least one. Any province that gives you more than 0.09 gold per month in a place, I usually think is worth doing. Same with manpower, but the number's just 250. I think if you get more than 250 people extra out of a province building a building for it, it's probably worth doing. Venice and Austria hate each other. That's what we said, right? So with Austria not being the emperor for very long, it's allowed Venice that now has a whopping 63,000 troops to really do well. I don't think I've ever seen this flag. So Sweden took a lot of land from Denmark. It looks like no, really no guy's going to take this land, not the Livonian Order. That's hilarious. But yeah, if we look at the coalition map mode, for once, not for us, for Sweden, we could theoretically join a coalition. The problem is that the only nation other than us that could join a coalition would technically be Denmark. So that doesn't really do anything for me to join a coalition against them. So we're not going to. Yeah, literally nobody else can. I was looking at the borders. I do like the pop. I like the pop-up. Like I said, you just don't see it very often. Maybe just because we can. Oh, hang on! Whoa! We have something far more important to talk about. Stop allying allies. Get the diplomat back. That's not what we want to talk about. Protestant Reformation, and it is spawned in Nuremberg. Here, I love the orange. That's why I know exactly where it is. That means a lot of things are going to go on. So we're going to end up at the age of discovery pretty soon. We never did get a third completed item in here. Oh well, that's fine. But more importantly, it means if we wanted to, we could flip to Protestant now. If I was playing this game to min-max, I would 100% flip to Protestantism now. I'm not going to. And that's only because when we played as Bologna last time, that's exactly what we did. We're not going to do that in this case. We're clearly not going to stay Catholic either because, well, Catholicism in this game is pretty weak. It's good at converting other provinces, but that's about it. No, we're going to wait until the Reformation breaks out and we're going to see if we can get that. So we can get Reformed religion. I don't think Reformed is very good, for the record. But it's something a bit different. Okay, I'm going to join this coalition for one reason and one reason only. Because then if they do take other land, we're already in it, that I won't forget. I will give you some money, that's fine. France has announced Venice's arrival, which makes sense, because they're about the same size in terms of military, which is pretty crazy. We're going to go with the corruption option, because our leader's probably going to die anytime now. Like, he's an old man. Like, credit to Everhard van Orange, which is a fantastic name, given he's 72. And yeah, has no Diplo skill. His 605 distribution is very fun. But yeah, he's going to kick the bucket probably before that really comes to fruition. There, we've got a claim on Berg, so at least we have it there. I'm tempted to get some claims. Well, what do we have for claims? We do have claims on Den Haag and Amsterdam already. I'm tempted to put some claims on Sweden, just at least have something, so if they do end up taking more land and the coalition forms, we'll be able to take some land potentially legitimately. But yeah, interesting spread of land occupation at this point. So the Livonian Order's occupying the land they can't core, which doesn't seem like a particularly great game decision. I don't want to take out a loan, I'll bite the bullet on that. Oh, wow, he's now a 6-5-1-2. But yeah, no guy has taken almost all the land occupation where the Livonian Order would take. They've got this one province, they'll almost certainly take that in the peace treaty. But it depends who pieces out first. Felt hats, cool. We now have cores. Should be, once they all core, this should be a pretty good location. Yeah, it's a Danish religion group, a culture group. So, not ideal, but they're already approved as a promoted culture, so I don't have to pay anything extra to deal with that. Another reason, if anything, to spy on Sweden, because there's a lot of Danish land that they just took, and I highly doubt they'll convert it to Swedish. Highly doubt it. Be very expensive for very little benefit. Okay, who's going to take this land? That's really all I want to know. I guess the other thing we can do is get that. Yeah, because I'm not going to pay this much penalty. I'm just going to wait. So we might as well get this for cheaper reinforcements and the... Oh wow, one extra advisor. That's exciting. Said no one ever. Yeah, East Frisia's idea. It's like its group ideas are just bleh. Like its bonuses it gets are so meh. Almost every other nation in the Germanic group has better ideas than East Frisia. Are they both waiting for each other to peace out? Because yeah, they only... the war score's not that high, all things considered. Oh, I can get another Splendor thing right before the age ends. I could start a Golden Era now because I've discovered America. I'm not going to do it yet. This is not the right time because we're going to get punished so badly if we go for attacks right now anyway. That's not the right decision. Is there anything in here that will genuinely be useful, though, until then? Probably not. So I'm going to take this in case we end up getting wrecked on our front lines. Yeah, no, there's not a lot going on there. Yeah, the war score between them only adds up to 36, so they probably both want... Well, what do they want? So... The Livonian Order wants Lagoda, which, I mean, like, Ladoga? Ladoga? I don't know. So they should be getting positive ticking war score. No guy is just having conquest of Denmark generally. Okay. Oh, and our guy did die. So Everhard is now unfortunately kind of soft, but he made it to like 72, 73, which is a great inning for this time of first time period. We have 27 in the area of the Orangists. They are very similar leaders, so I'm tempted to go Orangist again. He's not bad. Yeah, we'll go Orangist again. Hopefully he's not super old. 30? Excellent. If he gets a good trait at the end of this month, we're on for a winner-winner chicken dinner. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Indulgent is terrible. Good. Perfect. Especially when trade is our highest source of income. Thanks for that, buddy. Really helpful. Okay, lots of truces have ended. That's fine. We just had our spy court in Berg. That's also fine. Where would we want to make claims? I think in this area because of the Danish culture group. Wow, that's a 20 development province. Yeah, definitely get a claim on that. Speaking of which, North Jutland we can now make into a fully fledged state, which I think we definitely want to do. Thank you. It does mean we're going to have to get another seat, I'm sure. And we'll give them a seat up here. So, Ostland is the 13 development. There you go. Have a seat. That should, fingers crossed, make us a bit more money. Let's have a look. So we're making 1.93. Yeah, 2.83. We're making nearly a full extra gold a month just from doing that. Portugal getting sassy with the rivalries. Yeah, they rivaled Austria. They only have one enemy. Okay. I mean, it makes sense. They're kind of doing their own thing. Yeah, that's fine. We're still deadlock, are we? Oh yeah, Berg can't be our rival anymore. I guess it makes sense. They're only like 2 province minor. So we're clearly going to have to rival back. I mean, technically we could rival Denmark, but there's not really a point in doing that. Because their navy is still way too big. We can't deal with it. And don't get me wrong, Sweden's is bigger than ours as well, but not by anywhere near the same degree. Really, the only question now is, do we start building buildings to expand our navy size so we can try and deal with them? Not going to worry about it right now. England and France hate each other. Who would have seen that coming? I guess for the time being, because I don't really have a huge amount else to do, I'm going to send my diplomat over to the Pope, because maybe I can squeeze out one more benefit from Catholicism before we switch religion. That'd be good. I like the sound of that. Do we not even have any... Yeah, we have no unrest here. That's the best thing about taking over a nation that you already have the accepted culture for. Because it reduces that likelihood of having issues so much. As is proven here. What's our drill at? Yeah, our average drill is at 89. That army would move incredibly quickly. Holland is, yep, Danish culture group. Religion-wise, by the way, who else? Okay. So, this is not what I wanted to see either. It does happen a lot, so I'm not hugely surprised. But Sweden is Protestant. I was really hoping they would go Reformed, which does also happen occasionally. So I wouldn't have to convert these over again, but that's fine. At least they're converting them early, so I can deal with it afterwards. It probably means this centre of religious conversion is going to start changing us over to Protestant. Not ideal, but it could be a lot worse. And then the other place, obviously we knew about Nuremberg, is here in Potsdam. So we have a couple of centre-east Protestant places. That is okay. That's honestly, that's okay. It could be a lot worse. If Protestantism had spawned like here, that would have sucked. Because they would have started converting us really quickly. And then we might have had to just decide to go Protestant again anyway. It looks like we're not going to have to deal with that. Okay, Denmark did only cede one piece of land. And it was the war goal over to the Livonian Order because no guy giga-chadded its way around. No debate. What do you want to do? Don't need another diplomat. Hard pass. That's boring, but centralising the land ownership is not bad. You have one in here for spreading institutions. Oop. Wow, that was a... no, if you don't, then the next thing we might be doing is just trade and just money related. Can increase our base tax. Cheaper construction cost isn't terrible. None of these are really jumping out to me, so I'm going to do restrict imports. And yeah, we'll ignore corruption for that. 0.04 corruption to make it happen is fine. Especially because it's going down. Not going down quickly, but it is going down. Yep, we'll definitely do that. What is our inflation at? It's not at 2%, so we don't have to worry about it. France, how is your buying of... Okay, so you do have colonialism. Have you embraced it yet? Yes. Can I ask them for it? I can't remember if I can ask them or they have to ask me. Yeah, ask for knowledge sharing. That's what I'm looking for. So, we don't need more claims on Sweden right now. That's fine. Thank you. Yeah. I want that to happen now. So we should, in our entire capital state area, which is a pretty big state. That's one definite positive of East Frisia. You do start in the state with, first of all, 5 provinces, which is excellent. But they also mostly have pretty high development as well. I mean, Ursel, kind of debatable at 9, but everything else is pretty good. Yeah, so we should start getting that really quickly. I'm even going to go to edict, institution, spread quicker. Yes, I'll pay extra to do so, but then I'm paying France less, so it probably is cheaper. We better end up in a war so we can use this military guy, because he is redonkulously good. We will use our spare diplomat now just to befriend people again. Actually, France, I'm glad he went straight there. Yeah, Protestantism entrenched lowers the price of fish, which is a bit poopy, but that's what happens. That's not new news, that's just what happens every game. Babe Ruth apparently is rebelling. Not our problem, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, so that's how quick our colonialism acquisition was. It's already in Grins. We're getting 6 a month in our capital at this point. Probably turn speed back down to 3 for a moment, thank you. Yeah, it's now spreading like wildfire. Unlike something like, say, you know, the herp, this is something we do want to have spread. Probably helps that Nassau, even though they don't like us, they can't rival us, they're too big. But they probably help with the spread as well. And you can see it starting to spread in Denmark. Yeah, most of Europe has it, although it's funny that despite how many nations have colonialism, like countries like Saxony don't even have a sign of it yet. But I want this ASAP because I want to try and get a few trade ships out at sea to see if we can try and get a colony. Because we can see the land here. We can't see who's in it, if anybody. We don't know yet. And what we want to do... So in terms of timing, we're really hoping that we can become reformed and start settling colonists at about the same time. Because then we don't have to worry about our colony being the wrong religion. How much money we make? We're not making a ton of money either, so that's another thing we have to be cognizant of. Because it's very, very easy to go bust if we're playing the colonial game, because colonies are expensive when you're not a big nation. And also, if we make our colonies too big, they will rebel against us. So we're probably going to play a fairly passive colonial game. Because we don't have the bandwidth to deal with anything crazy over there. Speaking of crazy, they've got pretty big rebel issues going on right now in England. This border gore is spectacular, by the way. They really went out of their way to make it look as ugly as possible. I've got a lot of time for that. I don't know why they did it that way. It makes no sense, but it's okay. Oh, I lose the stability. Boo. You hate to see that. I guess to prepare ahead of time, do we want to... Okay, we don't have a hard price person. Because if we had a cheaper person at hard price of 2, it could probably cost a little bit more, but it's fine. Oh, heavens no, I'm not losing to mercantilism. I think not. Absolutely not. We can seize land again. We're not going to because they'll be angry, so we'll say no to that one. Yeah. Oh, the DAC War. So they're going to have rebels in Sweden, which is fantastic. We'd love to see that. Good government policies. So we can either gain a stability, gain reform progress, money, or because we're indulgent, we can just make people like us more. Well, we're definitely not doing that. We're going to get the free stability. As if that's even a question. Realistically, though, Sweden should absolutely squash these stacks of rebels. They're nowhere near big enough. Why is no guy still sitting on Denmark? If they wait too long, then Denmark's going to probably be able to build a big enough army to cause problems. That's honestly exactly what's happening. I can't tell how many troops no guy has on the map. But you can see that they're slowly reducing occupational things, and no guy aren't over here. We'd see them if they were. So whatever they're doing a bad. They're doing a badness. Big bad. Just as a precaution, we have our diplomat doing nothing. We'll just increase relations with the Ottomans. Just if we end up in some weird relationship triangle. Go back up speed 4. We've got all those notifications just settled down. Don't know if you can hear it. I'm almost talking like a little bit of a lisp today because I keep biting my tongue in my sleep. Does anybody else do that? Anybody else bite their tongue in their sleep? I can't sleep on my side anymore. I used to prefer sleeping on my side, but I can't because I keep biting my tongue. And then you wake up and you're just like, this is the most painful thing ever. It's probably not, but obviously it wakes you up. So it's like, this is really sore. You get lumps out of your own tongue. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a big dum-dum. Alright, well, we're going to finally embrace this institution. We could wait a little bit longer to make it cheaper, but I would rather embrace it now to get the cheaper tech. I'll pay the money instead. And you get provincial trade power modifier, which is going to be useful given our guy is indulgent. So that's a shame. We can't get to military tech level 10 yet, but we're not far away. We can get to level 9 diplomatic tech. Which, I mean, the increasing trade range isn't that important, but the efficiency is. We can get to admin level 9, which is very important. So now that we're at Diplo level 10, we probably... It's going to be close. We might have enough colonial range at 325 to get to North America from Iceland. We might be able to get to Greenland. At least that. I think we should be able to get from here to there. I don't know if we can get to Newfoundland or not. We'll have to see. In terms of the colonial game, because of where we're located in the English Channel, we do get a lot of options. The main thing, though, is that we're probably not going to go down here. Not that we would anyway, because Portugal's probably already there. We'll check in a second. But for us, it means we have options if we want to go in the Caribbean, if we want to go along the American coastline, if we want to go into Canada. All of these are very, very profitable for us. It depends how much risk we want to do. So, the Caribbean, if you can get there first, which we clearly have not, but if you can get there first, it's incredibly safe. Because it's very hard to invade these islands. Up north tends to be fairly safe as well, because there's not a huge amount of competition up here. This is the danger zone. Because lots of nations want to colonize here. And then you end up with, like, Spanish Mexico that ends up being massive. And there's a lot of challenges. So north is safe, the islands are safe. This tends to be really dangerous, especially for us. We're not a big nation. So that's something we do have to ponder. We'll talk about it more next episode. I think we'll leave it off there. We'll really formulate our plan of action next time around. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like it if you did, and please do subscribe to see some more. It's always nice to see fresh faces in the comment section. And frankly, the old returnees, thanks for being around. We appreciate it greatly. Have a wonderful rest of your day.